Okay, now I would like to take the PMP exam, but I don't know how long I need to prepare for the exam. Should I book my exam date next week or next month? Sabri C, can you please help me with this? Hello there, I am Sabri C. I am the instructor of the worldwide bestseller PMP exam prep course in Udemy. How long do you need to get ready for the PMP exam? Lots of PMP aspirants would like to know the answer to this question. If you are one of these students, watch this video up to the end because today I will talk about how much time you need to prepare for the PMP exam. How much time do you need to study for the exam? Unfortunately, there is no single answer to this question. I mean, study time changes for each PMP aspirant depend on some factors. First of all, your project management experience is one of the factors that affect your study time. If you worked on different projects for 15 years, 20 years, etc., or in other words, if you are very experienced in project management, then you will need less time to study for the exam. The second factor is your familiarity with agile and predictive processes. Currently, you get questions about both agile and predictive environments. Therefore, if you worked in both of these environments and used the processes and methods related to these environments, then you will need less time to prepare for the PMP exam. Finally, your educational background is also another factor that affects your study time. For example, some universities have project management mastery programs. If you have graduated from a university like this, then this means you already know most of the concepts you need to know for the PMP exam. And for this reason, you will need less time to study for the exam. Okay, if we draw a diagram to represent the number of students who passed the PMP exam versus the durations they studied for the exam, we would get a curve like this. Here, since completing a 35-hour project management course is a must to apply for the exam, the minimum duration you need to study for the exam is 35 hours. Please note that this is an extremely rare situation. I mean, unless you are a genius, to pass the exam right after completing the 35-hour project management course, you need to have lots of project management experience and you need to be very familiar with both agile and predictive concepts. Currently, the number of students who have signed up for our 35-hour online course up to now is around 26,000 and only 2 of them have passed their exams right after completing the course without reviewing anything and solving no practice exams. As I said, this is an extremely rare situation. So, we are looking for these values, which can be said to be the average durations to study for the exam. Let's discuss and find these values together then. Firstly, as I said, you need to sign up for a 35-hour project management course to apply for the exam. This means you will spend at least 35 hours to complete this course. If the course you signed up for is not a good one, or if it does not include any detailed explanations for each concept, then you will need to read the PMBOK guide and the Agile practice guide. I assume you will spend around 3 hours for reading each section. Since there are 13 sections in PMBOK guide 6th edition, it will take around 39 hours to read it. In the Agile practice guide, there are 6 sections, but you will also need to read the annexes and the appendixes. We can consider this as a separate section. Therefore, we can say there are 7 sections in the Agile practice guide and it will take around 21 hours to read it. If the course you signed up for is a good one, including detailed explanations like our online course in Udemy. This time, you may need to turn back to some of the lectures that you have seen for the first time in the course. Or you may think some concepts are harder than others, and you may want to turn back and review those concepts too. Therefore, you will need around 15 hours for the predictive concepts and around 4 hours for agile concepts for this purpose. We can say this is your first review. Here, you see that enrolling in a good course can save time when studying for the PMP exam. Therefore, our bestseller online course in Udemy can help you save time. I attached the link for this course below so that you can sign up for the course and save time. After your first review, or after reading the PMBOK guide and the Agile practice guide, you need to solve practice questions to solidify what you have learned up to that moment. Solving around 1000 questions will take around 17 to 25 hours. By solving practice questions, you will determine which concepts you need to study more, and it will take around 14 to 15 hours for this reviewing stage. When studying, you will be taking your own notes. You may want to review your notes a few times during your preparation for the exam. In total, this may take around 3 to 5 hours. You need to take exam simulations before taking the real exam. You will be solving at least 2 exam simulations, including 180 questions each, and you will need around 8 hours to solve these exams. Most of the students solve 2 to 6 exam simulations when they prepare for the PMP exam. So if you solve 6 exams, it will take around 24 hours in total. Finally, by looking at the results you get from the exam simulations, you will be turning back and review the concepts you need to study more, and this may take around 8 to 24 more hours. Okay, if we add these durations, we see that you will spend around 104 to 188 hours to get ready for the exam. Or, on average, you will need around 146 hours to prepare for the exam. Let's write this in our diagram like this. So, when you start studying for the exam, you need to consider these durations and prepare a study plan accordingly. Alright, that's it for now. If you like this video, don't forget to click on the like button below. To not miss any videos about PMP certification in the future, just subscribe to this channel first, then click on the bell icon below. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.